Hi there, my fencing teists. Today we're going to cover the first parry, preem as it's traditionally known. The first parry was meant to be the first parry that you could do in practice, because if you're wearing a sword at your hip, in order to apply parries effectively, you have to get it into a position where it can effectively cover your body. So you never see anything like this, because this isn't really going to cover your body. Up high, maybe, but bringing it up and across like this is essentially the same as high preem. High preem would be covering the inside line like this, because you can't really effectively cover the outside. You'd still get hit in the right side of the ribs. But bring it up like this, you can cover yourself effectively. Low preem, or the standard preem, is going to be down low, sometimes called the wristwatch parry, and that covers the inside line, protecting the inside of the lead leg. From the side, you can see that when you're drawing, you are drawing it forward. You are still creating this defensive shield around the inside of your face, but you're not drawing it straight up. You're drawing it forward so that you can get the blade free to attack, very similar to Iaido principles. But in theory, you'd be drawing up, covering, parrying, and then parrying the inside line. Because you can draw and then come out to cover the outside line, or draw, drop low, cover the inside line, and then cover the outside line. However, in practice, the low position of the sword could also be used as a pommel strike. In many cases of Scottish broadsword, they would have their sword in their position and they'd sweep up into first position. In some cases, stepping back in the French school, the dédié school, of you draw and step back, but you still have to create that draw position in front, and then you're stepping back. So that first preem position is very important. It is that first guarding position, and then from there you drop into the wrist position. So I've learned this is the wrist position and this is the draw position. They're both forms of parry one or preem. Now, the empty hand equivalent to this is going to be a low bong sao, that you are protecting the low inside of the body with the outside of the wrist. Of course, doing it double hands, you could block to the outside, but in keeping with the fencing principles of using your dominant hand, you would be covering that vector with the bong sao, or the low preem. So this would be the equivalent to that first preem sweeping parry. Now, there are cases where you would block out in second and bring it across like this to block with the back of the blade. In most cases, that's not how you'd normally do preem. In most cases, you are bringing the blade across and blocking with the front of the blade. This is the more common form of preem. In theory, you could do this, but it's not really how it actively comes out. It's not the live application. It's purely theoretical, mainly because this is too much of a strain on the wrist and the elbow, and this does the same thing. It covers the same area with the same level of strength. This is stronger, and you can extend out into a point in line attack, whereas this, yeah, you can lift up, but it's just an awkward movement. So this would be low preem, this would be high preem. Now, this would be historically distinct, but related to the outside half hanger. The outside half hanger is going to be having the arm roughly shoulder level and covering the outside of the body in the same way as the low preem would the lower level, and the high preem would be covering the head level. It does have some mid coverage, but it's generally not as strong. So preem is going to be either head level or low level on the inside line, and the outside half hanger being a later equivalent or a later supplement to preem. So while I would say that the inside half hanger is related, it is distinct from preem, but follows similar guidelines. So that is the first parry. Natalia, we will practice this later. Until then, keep Petit Cub Sente.